Hi everyone, this is a video about slugs and to understand better how they work. So there are three different types of slugs. There is the sponge slugs, the smog slugs, and the plug slugs. So we'll go through each of them. The first one is the sponge slug, so it's going to soak in liquid during the day. In this case, it's going to be water, but it could be another liquid. And during the night, it's going to release that liquid. In order to do that, it will need to find a liquid pipe. So I put some liquid pipe here. It's going to try to attach itself to one of them and transfer the liquid in that room because that's the way I set it up. So the night cycle has just kicked in and we can see that the slug attached itself to that pipe, and this pipe needs to be 2 ties long, otherwise it can't attach itself if we only have uh, a 1 tie long pipe like it would be here. It wouldn't be able to attach itself to that pipe. Sponge slug can carry multiple types of liquid. So it can carry, in this case, it's carrying water and salted water because I added some salted water. So it soaked in this salted water during the day, and during the night is going to try to release these two liquids. So the night cycle has just kicked in, and we can see that here it's transferring salt water and water. So here it's salt water and here it's water, and it's not so it can't be used to filter different liquid. It's going to mix them up here. Now that we've seen what sponge slugs do, let's see what is the diet, what they consume and what they produce. So they consume 30 kilograms of food, and their food is usually ore, so copper ore, cobalt ore, aluminum ore, gold, almanac, iron ore, or any refined one. And for 30 kilograms, it produces 1500 of hydrogens per cycle, which means that you can use a hydrogen generator to consume that hydrogens, which will consume 100 grams of hydrogens per second and produce 800 joule. So it can run for about 15 seconds and produce 12 kilojoule. It is not a big amount of power, and it consumes quite a bit of it consumes rare resources. It's not necessarily that much resource, but it consumes fairly rare resources. So depending on what you have, if you have plenty of them, it's not going to be a big problem, but if you might run out of them, so it wouldn't be so interesting. So the next slug that we're going to see is the smog slug. So similar to the previous slug, is going to absorb gases this time and not liquid during the day, and is going to release it during the night. So in order to do that, it will try to attach itself to a gas pipe. So it needs to be one more time 2 ties long in order for it to be able to attach itself to it, and is going to release its gases. Here we just set up another room where we release the gases. So the night cycle has just kicked in, and we can see that the slug has attached itself to it, and it needs to be 2 ties long one more time. Once it's been attached, it's releasing its content, which is in this case hydrogen, that is then going to that room. The smog slug can also carry different types of gases. So in this case, it has about 8 kilograms of chlorine and a little bit less than 24 kilograms of hydrogen. So the night cycle has just started, and we can see that it's going to release its gases through the pipe that it connected itself to, and we can see that it has a mix of both chlorine and hydrogen. So it releases it in this room because this is the way we set it up, and the two gases mix up as well. The last slug that we're going to see is the plug slug. So this is a third type of slug that exists, and here there will be a little bit more to say. So first of all, these slugs generate power during the day and release it during the night. So similar to the two other slugs, it will require a wire. There is 2 tie longs in order to attach itself to it and release the power that they generated during the day. The amount of power a plug slug can generate depends on how happy it is, if he's tamed, and how fed he is, and it's going to generate different amount of power based on these different metrics. So here we have one plug slug that is happy, tamed, and well fed, and here one that is not at all. So we'll see how much power each of them generates. So the night cycle has just kicked in, and we can see here that one more time it needs 2 ties to be able to attach itself to a power wire. Otherwise, if we only had one here, it would not work uh, one more time if that was just that way. So the night cycle has just finished, and the happy, tamed, and well-fed plug slug has generated 17 kilojoule per battery, and we have 2, 4, 6, 7 of them. So that's about 120 kilojoule of power, whereas the other one has only produced 10 kilojoules per batteries, and we only have 3 of them, which is about 30 kilojoule. It represents about 1/4 of what the happy one has generated, which is an important difference. On top of that, this slug produces 3 kilograms of hydrogen. So if you put it in a hydrogen generator, it would produce about 24 kilojoule per cycle. So in total, it can produce up to 144 kilojoules per cycle, which is a lot of powers. So depending on the amount of these resources you have available, it can be quite expensive. Also, it will take a duplicate times to keep them groomed and happy and well fed, so that's another cost to take into account.